Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me today. So the last session of the month, and I am working on the bottom part of the peahen's neck that is in this pass. Yeah, I thought I might get a little bit more done, but then I had a back spasm, so yeah, unfortunately, that prevented some stitching, but I'm feeling better now, no worries. Yeah. And we will see, again, not a lot of colors in this area, bigger blocks, so probably put up a good number today. Although they are kind of interlocking each other a bit more than last time, I would say, so yeah, we will see. Yeah, it is definitely a gloomy day today. I am stitching by the light of my crafting lamp because there is not much natural light out there. Yeah, definitely can tell that winter's coming, at least here anyway. Yeah, and all too soon it's going to be ruddy time change again. Yeah, I don't like it. Even this one, when you know, quote unquote gain an hour, yeah, it throws everything off. And yeah, I do not like it. Like somebody says, you know, it ends up dark early and it feels like we have less sunlight, you know, even though, of course, it doesn't actually change, but it feels like it. But hey, we got to sleep in that one time, you know? Yeah. Yeah, and like, you know, everything is thrown off. You wake up at the wrong times. You start getting hungry at the wrong time, and yeah. 'Cause it throws off the rhythms, right? Yeah, I am not a fan. We actually had a vote here, a provincial vote here a few years ago, and that was one of the issues we could vote on, because there were a couple of them. And yeah, it was whether or not to abolish daylight saving time. And yeah, by a very narrow margin they kept it. So yeah. Yeah, my husband and I don't plan on moving, but we've said if we're going to move again, we'll probably move to Saskatchewan where they don't do time change. Oh. Oh, but yeah. But on to nicer things. Yeah, they had a good trunk and treat for work. They did Men in Black, so that was fun. So yeah, my husband got to dress as an agent. He got an earpiece and wore his black suit and the sunglasses. Yeah, and one of his coworkers was the alien that he was, you know, escorting. So yeah, he even made himself an ID card. You know, he's Agent C because his first name begins with a C. So yeah. Yeah, even put like species human on it. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, and they had a really good turnout. I think this is the third year doing it. Yeah, the first year they did farmers, and then the second year, last year they did Ghostbusters. And so this year they're doing Men in Black, and he said, yeah, and they're already thinking, so what can we do next year? Yeah, and he got an alien, like a UFO, alien in a spaceship, inflatable. Yeah, so that was part of their decor, and yeah. So yeah, fun times. Yeah, I had never heard of trunk and treat before then. Apparently in the US it's more common, but yeah, here's it. It wasn't really a thing. Yeah, because I was remarking how I said it's kind of funny that, you know, we're always telling kids don't take candy from strangers until Halloween and then take all the candy from all the strangers, right? Oh, yeah. And then, yeah, one of my friends mentioned the trunk and treat. Like, yeah, just approach somebody's car and take candy from them. Like, oh, dear. Yeah, I saw one at 2020. Somebody said they made their social distancing candy delivery system and they used like a drain spout, downspout, and yeah, to distribute candy. Yeah, we just put ours in a bowl on the front porch and people could come up and grab. And after that, I stopped handing candy out myself because, yeah, it's frustrating having to get up every, you know, couple of minutes to hand it out. So, yeah, I just put out the bowl and not having to answer the door all night. Okay. So, yeah, I have not many colors in my working tray today because there are not many colors in this area. But yeah, I was thinking I might reach 52% by the end of the month, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I think that's like another 700 stitches away, so probably not. But still, I wasn't even sure I'd reach 51%, so I am not complaining. Yeah, and we will pass 159,000, so that will mean I did over 9,000 this month because I started at exactly 150,000. So yeah, sort of 7 to 10,000 is sort of my monthly average. Yeah. So yeah, given that, it should be less than a year and a half before this is done. Which is always exciting. Yeah, so I was kind of dividing her neck up into a skinnier area, but now there is a lot of this blue around here, so I am now working across a wider area. It just kind of lends itself to that. Wow, it is windy out there. Don't know if you can hear my window frames popping from that. Yeah. Yeah, the neighbor's tree is completely devoid of leaves now with that wind. Yeah, I had to get used to that. We replaced our windows a few years ago with more energy efficient ones, but they're much noisier when the house shifts. Yeah. Even with earplugs in, the heat would kick on. It would blow up towards our window frame and go pop, pop, pop and wake me up. Yeah. I unfortunately have very keen hearing and yeah. So instead of earplugs, now I use the sleep headphones, brown noise to drown stuff out, and that works a bit better. Yeah. I often say I wish I could turn it down at night. Ugh. I mean, it's not like I'd want to lose my hearing, but at the same time, yeah. Such sensitive hearing can definitely be a curse. Okay, so yeah, looking at this area, yeah, we've got kind of a thing here and then kind of colors radiating out from it. So, well, we'll just kind of figure it out as we go. I don't really have a plan. Although, yeah, I don't really stitch diagonally anymore. I follow the colors more than I used to. I kind of always did, but it was sort of trying to stay within a diagonal slope, and I don't do that anymore because, yeah, like I said, with the peacock standing and his tail going that way, I was fighting it constantly. And so I decided, you know what? What if I just don't fight it? What if I just go with it? And so that is what I did, and that is how my stitching has evolved. Yeah, hard to believe another month is gone by. Before we know it, we'll be saying hard to believe another year has gone by. Yeah. It is wild. Yeah, with it being my kids' grad year, there's been a lot of stuff to handle. They have to sign up for this online thing so that they can access their transcripts at the end of the year. It's been a whole big to-do. I was thinking, gee, when I graduated high school, we didn't have to do any of that. It was our school's responsibility to get our transcripts to us. Yeah. I can't remember if we got it when we got our diplomas or if they mailed it to us later. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I don't even know where mine is now. I'm sure I still have it, but yeah, if you ask me to locate it, yeesh. Although I was curious and looked up, and apparently, if you graduated any time after 1974, you should be able to request one online, which I was 1999, so yeah. But yeah, it was kind of funny because one of my friends said she was applying for something, and you know, she's like coming on to 50, and she's like, I don't know where my high school transcript is. And I'm like, are they really going to ask to see it? She's like, yeah, probably not, you know, because she went on to college later to get a degree. So, I mean, clearly you graduated high school, right? Although there was one tweet I saw online, somebody saying, like 10 years later, they got notified by their old high school that, oh, it turns out you actually didn't have enough credits to graduate. We made a mistake. She's like, well, I mean, what are they going to do about it now? You know, she said, I've gone on to get a master's degree since. Like, it's like, hey, I still have the diploma you gave me. You going to come and take it back? Oh, dear. It's like, how did you not realize that, though, at the time? Because, yeah, when we were figuring out if our son could drop a class, and yeah, they checked and said, oh, yeah, he'll have more than enough credits, so he doesn't need this one. Yeah, it was pre-calc, but he took after me. He doesn't have a math brain. He was really good at math at the younger grades, but yeah. But I'm like, yeah, but calculus is like something else. That's like math on steroids. So yeah, I said I didn't do well with calculus either. My parents made me take it. Like I've said before, mostly I feel like so they could brag that my daughter's taking calculus, because I had never expressed an interest in like going into anything that would require it, like engineering or anything, you know? So, yeah. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. That was when they started learning quadratics, because we started learning those in like grade 10. So yeah, I guess they've changed it. But yeah, he was getting stressed out. So we said, yeah, you have your math requirement to graduate. You have more than enough credits, so no sweat. You don't need this. If ever you do need it, you can always go and take it, you know, at the community college later. And they said too that I think it's up to 4 years after your grad year, you can still go back to the high school and take the courses there if you wanted to, so for free. So yeah. Okay, actually I think I can probably squeeze another few stitches out of that, so I am going to Making sure I always park in that upper right. Oh, hi guys. I was hoping to avoid interruption, but my son had to come home for something again, so oh well. Such is life, right? Yeah. Make it work. Yeah, my last one was kind of a pain to edit because I had to paste 3 videos together, and that meant and align it with 3 screen captures as well. What a pain. And actually I filmed 4, but then on the 3rd one I had forgotten to turn my screen capture on, so that wasn't usable, and yeah, it was a whole thing. Like I often joke, this is a very professional operation. Okay, so okay, so I'm going to park this one to do sort of the bottom 2 there. I will do the other ones with a different thread. It's only really long enough to do 2 stitches, so see what we can get out of this one too. Yeah, I think our warm days are over now. Yes, wind is blowing in the cold weather. Oh yeah, I was hoping to get the one last stitch from this, but that is not happening. Yeah, I'll be lucky to have enough here to finish it off. Oh, that wasn't perfect, but oh well. I'm going to be stitching over that with almost the same color, so I think we'll be okay. Okay, so this is a longer one. All right, I have some little pieces, so to do that one stitch that was left behind, I will do it with one of those short little leftover pieces. That's exactly what I saved them for. Oh dear. Yeah. If I come up there, it just doesn't want to stay nice and neat, so I'll go the other way. Yes, I'm probably going to travel all over the place a bit here. Yeah, just kind of growing out from this area here, so. Yeah, this color, I was a little worried I wouldn't have enough of it, but it turns out I have plenty. Yeah, because I guesstimate that I get about 1,500 stitches per skein of floss to be on the safe side. I get more than that generally, but yeah. And then I was really close to the wire for my last one, but then because most of this color was all gathered at one big blocks instead of like scattered all over the place, yeah, it will not be an issue. Yeah, I kind of like if it's a color that's not in big blocks and there's 1,500 of it in the pattern, then I end up using more floss because of stopping and starting. But yeah, if it's all lumped together like it is on these birds, then I get closer to, I think, like 1,800 stitches in a skein. So yeah, I have now showing 1,200 to do, and I haven't started my last one yet, so I should have plenty of this color, so should be no problem. So yeah, we won't get around this bird's eye or her beak done, I don't think. I'm just going to try and finish sort of the neck part that's down to the bottom of this pass. I might not even get that totally done. And then, yeah, but I didn't even expect to actually get any of her done besides her wing feathers, so yeah, bonus. I am further along than I thought I would be. That's always nice. Oh, look at that. I passed 159,000 total, so yeah, woohoo. Yeah, if I worked on just one project, I can get anywhere from 12 to 15,000 done, depending on amount of confetti and, of course, amount of stitching time. But yeah, I don't do all on one piece. I do most on one piece, but not all, so it takes a little bit longer. I do kind of like 2/3 of my time on this piece. But yeah, like I said, figure skating season has started, so that's going to cut a bit into my stitching. My cross-stitching time. Still stitching time because I knit. Okay, and then I'm going to swap colors, even though I could keep going with this color because, yeah, I want to give my arms a break. I've said in previous videos, when it's lots of the same color, I have to be really careful not to overdo it, cause myself pain. I love this color. It's so vibrant. Remembering correctly that this piece wasn't very long. So we'll do those two. Then park it ready to do the next one. And then switch back. So my crafting lamp kind of behind me and to my right, since generally my right hand is not above the fabric, and that way I don't block the light. Yeah, a few times I do, it's kind of harder to see where I need to put the needle. Actually, you know what? I may not do those. I will start those with a new strand. Yeah, now that I think of it. That strand has run out. So that was good guesstimating on my part. Yeah, it's funny. My old oven vent cover would flap around in the wind, and we put a mesh around it because there was a bird that kept trying to live in there. And ever since we did that, it doesn't flap around as much, even though it's still open, because that was the whole point, right? Because I, at first, was having to tape it shut so the bird couldn't get in there and then just opening it when I needed it. But obviously that was, you know, a temporary solution. And I kept hoping he would give up, but every time I untaped it, he would show up again. Have to chase him off. So finally, yeah, got my husband to put a wire mesh on it. So the air can get through, but birds cannot. So now, yeah, the wind kind of has to be blowing in exactly a certain direction for it to make noise, which is kind of nice because, yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, I remember once something was kind of getting smoky and I turned on the fan and I had forgotten to untape the vent cover again. And it's like, why isn't it clearing any of this, you know? And then after a few minutes, I was like, oh, well, duh, because there's nowhere for it to go. The path to the outside is closed. Ugh. Oh my gosh, there are a lot of ends here. That is a different color end than the one I just forced to go back. I keep wanting to show up. There. Okay, so another color. So yeah, like I said, not very many colors here, but because they kind of interlock with each other a bit, there is some switching back and forth, but that is good for my arms. Oh, of course I say that now. Of course it's going to make noise, right? Oh yeah, we are well past 100 stitches. Let's see how long this piece is. All right. Yeah, I added it not too long ago. So yeah, what I'm going to do is do these, and those bottom two I will be doing with the strand that's already there. divide this color up a bit. Move these out of my way so I don't pierce them. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that'll be a tight fit, but I think we can get the last stitch right there with this thread, which would be nice. Okay, so I'm going to go back into this corner here and sort of start working out around it the way the coat kind of radiates out from that sort of center point there. So okay, don't have much of this color around here. No, that's why I don't have it out in my tray. Okay, 46. That didn't look right. Yeah, that came up looking funny. I'm gonna go the other way because, yeah, that leg of the stitch just looked a little bit too long. Gotta fix it now because otherwise the only way to fix it will be to cut it, which I don't want to do. Okay, yes, so that's what this little piece is perfect for. Oh, goodness me. Oh, pardon me, yeah, I had a hard time falling asleep last night. Yeah, I kind of got congested out of nowhere. Couldn't breathe. And then sort of every time I kind of settled, then I suddenly had to get up to use the bathroom. It's like, oh, come on. Yeah, it kind of sucks, I find. If I lie on my right side, it's a lot harder to breathe through my nose than if I lie on my left. I probably have a deviated septum, but I just haven't bothered trying to get that dealt with because it's surgery and I don't really want to do that if I could live with it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'm gonna have to give in and do it. But yeah, when I used a neti pot, I would notice that it was easier to go one direction than the other, which they said is pretty common if you have, yeah, a septum that is not straight. And yeah, I now use a Navage machine that actually, like, it's motor that moves the water around, and it really, again, only wants to go the one direction and won't go the other. So yeah. It's actually fairly common, they say. Yeah. And most people don't even know. Okay, so now I think I can sort of do this block of color here. Oh, is that a knot? Feeling back there. No, no, that's smooth. Okay. For a second, it kind of felt wrong. Always want to check that before I keep stitching. Once you've stitched through it, trying to fix it later is not fun. Guess how I know? So yeah, I wasn't quite as neat with my pin stitches in this area, but yeah, I know that it won't show because of it's going to be colored with the same color or one that's so close you really can't tell, so not a problem. And then we'll go back to kind of striping around this since it kind of forms stripes between the two colors. Okay, 150. Nice. Just going to check how long this one is. Okay, yeah, it's pretty long. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of work around from the top for the moment. Yeah, these big blocks of color are really nice. You can see how fast progress you make. So these, like I said, the pin stitch here was kind of sloppy, but as you can see, once it is stitched over, it is totally fine. Cannot see where it was. Even when I know where it was, I can't find it. Just making sure that wasn't a knot. I felt back there, but it's not. It's one of the pin stitch ends. So that is fun. Yeah, as long as it doesn't get lumpy, we are good. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to restart my tablet soon. It's getting kind of laggy. Oops. Yeah, that was wrong spot. Might as well do these two here as well. Okay. Just gonna set those aside and not go any further over to the right. At least not for the moment. That is a really short piece, but I think we can manage. Oh yeah. Yes, I'm probably going to do 2 strands still. Sort of the one that's here for that sort of center, and then the kind of rays that are coming off it will be in another piece. Worked out perfectly. Sweet. I'll do that one too. That'll be over 200 done. So this is the last big strand before I start a new skein, which is no problem because, well, I got like 3 more in this big strand of 6 left. So, and as you can see, I've got just over 1,100 stitches this color left. So yeah, I will not run out. Because yeah, like I say, 1,500 is kind of the minimum I get from one skein of thread, so that won't be a problem. I said, the fact that they're mostly all together. There's some on sort of the eye motifs on the peacock's tail, but not very much. The majority of this color is here. That's left to do is here on the peahen's neck. So yeah, that won't be a problem at all. So yeah, just sort of start to drift this down this way towards these skinnier sort of runs of color. There's so much of this color here that, yeah, it'll get used up, so not a problem. So yeah, I don't stop and start sort of at the same spot, and that way you're less likely to get a line in your work. And I also don't go by one stitch sort of diagonally either, because again, you could still end up with a diagonal tension line, which you don't want. So yeah, sometimes I go 1 stitch shy of the previous row, sometimes I go even, and then sometimes I go 2 stitches shy and that sort of thing. And that randomness, I think, kind of helps keep any lines from forming. So I'm going 1 stitch shy again here, and then I'm going to go 2 for the next row, and then do 2 rows sort of evenly. So kind of change it up. So yeah, now, like I said, I'm going 2 stitches shy. I'm going to do kind of that evenly. Before I kind of do the whole sort of run along this edge. That was not right. There. Yeah, that top leg was too long in comparison to the others because I missed the correct spot. Okay, so now, yeah, I'm gonna kind of go like this, back up, and I'm gonna start doing the other color that interlocks with it. Go back and forth for a bit. Okay, so then yeah, said I'm gonna get another thread to do sort of the ones that are branching off from that main sort of section there. No, again, my gosh. That was not right. There we are. That's better. Try not to make things wonky. Goodness, you just don't want to. No, and I still got it wrong. My goodness. I told you I was tired. Ooh. Yeah, the brain is not firing on all cylinders today. That, ooh, not that one down there. That is not done yet. And this thread is going from the center outwards. All right, so I think I'm going to do these stitches, and then I think that's where I'm going to take a break. Yeah, put up a pretty impressive number. This thread's going to run out anyway, so that will be a good place to take a break. Yeah, so we didn't get all of her neck done this month, but I mean, I didn't even think I would get to her this month. So yeah, we will definitely be completing her, at least what's in this pass, next month for sure, and we'll see how far we get across the peacock's tail feathers this time. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, and hope to see you here next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.